Hello and welcome back today. Today we're going to talk about chemo neuropathy. So, the chemo I was on, chemo neuropathy was a side effect. The average person on my chemo, not even the average person, the most people on record ever that my oncologist could find that had taken my protocol, my standard of care, was 10 to 12 rounds of chemo. I did 17. Chemo neuropathy sucks, so let's talk about it. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to tell you how I fixed mine. I came up, or at least have reversed a lot of the damage in the last 3 weeks. I finally found a way to do it. So I'm going to share that with everybody at the end, and it's fabulous. If you're on chemo right now, and chemo neuropathy is a side effect, you better stay to the end, because I got a solution for you. So chemo neuropathy, there's a coating around the nerves, and basically the toxicity of the chemo eats it away, and so you get extreme sensitive to cold. That's kind of where it starts. I would go in the fridge or the freezer and I would grab something and it'd be cold and it would like burn my hand. It was like a burning sensation, and then it was in my feet and it felt like pins and needles when I walked. It got to the point where when I showered, my hands would be in excruciating pain just from the change of temperature in the shower. So that's what chemo neuropathy is. They say there's nothing you can do about it, so they prescribe you, I forget the name of the drug, but it's an off-label use at the hospital. The doctors say there's nothing they can do about it. They just give you this drug. I believe it's used for psychiatric mental disorders, and it helps with the nerve endings, and it essentially masks the pain. And so that's nice because it masks the pain for you. It helps you get through your day-to-day activities. But as you keep going on chemo, it's accumulative and it gets worse. The chemo neuropathy doesn't get better. Hate to break it to you. The chemo neuropathy is going to get worse. Every round, it's accumulative. And here's the craziest part. When I stopped taking chemo, the chemo neuropathy continued to get worse and worse. It didn't get better. Last round of chemo was end of November for me. And up until like 3 weeks ago, my chemo neuropathy got worse every week. It did not get better. It got worse and worse weekly. Yeah, that long after chemo. The chemo is in your system. It's still destroying that coating around the nerves. It's absolutely wild. And so I take this pill, and I've been searching high and low for something and anything that I can do to reverse this damage. Now, somebody gave me a good idea, and apparently this has worked for some people, but basically what you do is you take Vicks and rub Vicks on your hands and you put them in socks. Apparently some people had some success doing this, so I recommend giving that a try. That's a good place to start. Another thing that I've recently learned, hold on a second, I gotta look it up. Another thing that I recently learned that you can do is evening primrose oil. Now, evening primrose oil, it takes like 3 to 6 months to actually work. So you're going to be in pain, and if you're on chemo, I recommend and your chemo side effect is going to be neuropathy, take evening primrose oil right away. I've only recently learned about this and researched it. It's an old school train of thought. It's a natural remedy. But anyways, that's something to get on right away. It works long term. My neuropathy was at the point where I had to buy a phone like this that folds into this little square because I was dropping my phone. It hurts just to text. I couldn't type on a computer anymore. This is how bad chemo neuropathy can get, especially if you're a survivor and a fighter and you're going to keep pushing your luck with chemo. It's not going to get better. And so I was watching a podcast with Joe Rogan the other day and a guy named Paul Stamets. Paul Stamets has the largest mushroom library in the world. He's in the States. And so he conducted a study on microdosing psilocybin. And so the study consisted of over a 3-month period. He had 4,600 people not microdosing and 4,600 people that did microdose. there was a pulse Stamets stack. Now, I don't recommend taking the stack because it was niacin, which will drive up your glucose, which will, as we know from Professor Seyfried, will grow your cancer. So I had to unfortunately cut that out because I don't want glucose spikes. Psilocybin and lion's mane, that was the name of the mushroom. Lion's mane is just a normal gourmet mushroom. There's nothing wrong with that. You can buy it in capsule form. And it helps repair nerve endings as well. And so you take psilocybin and lion's mane. In Canada, you can go to a storefront now and buy microdosing pills. A microdose is it's a dose less that's something you'll feel. So you don't even notice that you took it. So it's 0.1 of a gram, 0.1. You only get liftoff on psilocybin at 0.25 of a gram. So this is well below threshold. You don't get any liftoff, you don't feel any buzz. You might think that's funny, and you might think, what's the point? Might as well get some liftoff. But I'm doing this to get my hands better. I'm desperate to do anything. I don't want to be high. I'm on hydromorph when I have problems. Like I just want to be sober. And so it's 0.1 of a gram with lion's mane. Now, I've read some research on lion's mane, and so I'm not taking lion's mane either because certain types of cancer it may be bad for. I don't know what's true. But what I've noticed is when I microdose psilocybin, my glucose drops. Tension in my back goes away. My brain's thinking clear. So it's actually getting my GKI in better order. And immediately day one, I take it day one, I take 2 days off, and I take it day 4, and I take 2 days off, and I take it day, whatever that works out, day 1, 2, 3, 4, take it. So I take 1 day on, 2 days off. The day I take it, I don't feel anything. I don't even know that I took it. Except for the neuropathy is day 1 I took it, my neuropathy felt better. I wasn't in as much excruciating pain. I thought, well, it's just the microdose masking it. Nope. Day 2, day 3, my hands were almost as good. Almost. I felt it backed off a little bit. But then day 4 I took it, and it was better. Day 5, day 6, it may have backed off. It wasn't quite as much results. Maybe it backed off a bit, but my hands were still way better. Day 7, take it, so on and so forth. You get the point. So in Canada, you can just order this online. You can go to a storefront. There's 2 stores just in London, Ontario. There's a store in Brantford, there's a store in Hamilton, there's stores all over Toronto. You can go right into a storefront and buy this stuff, just like when marijuana wasn't quite legal yet, but you could still buy it. You can order it online. I don't know about in the United States. I'm guessing you can order it online. I don't know about Europe. But microdosing psilocybin has cured my chemo neuropathy. It hasn't cured it yet, but it's heading in that direction. And Paul Stamets, when he did his app, people thought this was really good because 4,600 people did not microdose and 4,000 people did. The 4,000 people that claimed that their neuropathy was drastically improved, people that made all these claims, he actually had tests. So in the app, people that microdosed and people that didn't, everybody had to complete these tests. The start of 3 months and the end of 3 months. There was a tap test. So however many times you could tap your phone in so many seconds, the average of people that microdosed was 48. And after microdosing for 3 months, it was 68. This proved that neurogenesis occurred in the hand. The 4,600 people that didn't microdose didn't get that improvement. He had cognitive tests. There was drastic improvement in cognitive ability. He also had in that test, hearing test, where there was different beeps and stuff. And people at microdose had drastic improvements in hearing versus people that did not. Again, 4,600 people did not microdose and 4,000 people did, and it was over a 3-month period. I experienced drastic improvements in neuropathy right away. I know this is a controversial video, but I had to make it. The results have been astounding. In the days I microdose, my glucose is lower than ever. I don't know if there's a link there, but there might be. Anyways, thanks everybody for joining us today. Please hit the like button. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please, I need everybody's help. I'm a new channel, and I got lots of great ideas going forward, but I really want to get the word out there. If you have cancer and you're struggling, feel free to reach out. I'm here. This community is amazing. I love all you guys. The feedback has been amazing. I really appreciate it, guys. Everybody have a good day.